Badman, LB, Rupert, Albert, and the Bishop Paul Brown. Badman for the 2020-2021. And you know what it is. You know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego too. This is Paul and Rupert.
We're back!
Coming out with a brand new thought, covered under the blood in which we were born. So we know how to get to.
Is for bold, A is for active, D is for determined. When you consider King David's valiant, you have an idea and understanding of where we're taking this. Stay tuned.
Hallelujah, revive us again.
We are excited to bring fresh commentary, good conversation with two bad men. Boy, you don't want to miss this. Bad Man for Christ. Join us.
Stands for determined, just like Peter when he did his first sermon. As the saying goes, bad men for Christ. That is how we'll be for the rest of our life. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our show because we're stuck in the house with nowhere to go.
My goodness.
Oh, there we go.
Overseer. How are you doing, man? My goodness.
I thought I was doing a solo show for a second. I was like, yeah, I got a solo show.
Not on your life, sir. Not on your life. This is the Bad Man Show. Oh.
Welcome, sir. It's good to see you again. How are you doing? That's the question.
I'm doing wonderful. Welcome to our guests, all our guests. We welcome you to another edition of the Bad Man Show. We're delighted to have you here again, joining us on this Monday evening. I am doing great. And there was just one thing I was hoping that you weren't gonna say anything about, but I know you're gonna go ahead and say. So just take it away, because just take it away. All right, it's the will slap.
So I don't care. I hate watching the Oscars, but I am so glad. I am so glad I saw Will Smith have a mental breakdown. This brother who I admired, I know people who know him. I went to school in Philly for college, and I know people who went to school with him. He comes from a humble background, wasn't a rich boy, wasn't poor, but wasn't rich. He comes from a humble background, made it to be a megastar, one of the biggest box office producing stars. But it proves to show if you would have Jesus in your life, you'll do anything. When he walked up on that stage, first of all, I thought it was an act. I thought it was an act. When he walked up on that stage and he slapped Chris Rock, I was just amazed. Bishop, I was amazed. It was the funniest, saddest thing I've ever seen. It was better than Kanye going up and in front of Taylor Swift and talking about Beyonce should have won the song of the year, whatever it was. It was better than that. That was crazy.
Well, I Mrs. Brown actually showed me the clip because I wasn't watching the Oscar. And she said, look at this. And then she was saying, you got to also listen to the apology. I'm like, no, that's it. I had King Richard queued up because it was like 2 hours. It was a 2-hour movie. I had it queued up on HBO. That's it. No, King Richard. That's it. Maybe I'll get over it, but right now, that's it.
We can't be totally mad at the guy. I don't know, because if you watch like other clips of it, they show him that when Chris Rock said the joke, he started laughing first. And then when his wife got mad, he looked at his wife and said, oh, wait a minute, I gotta do something. And he went up there, and even afterwards, he was shouting at Chris Rock, cussing at him. I mean, he had a total meltdown. So he went to apologize. He's crying. I'm so sorry, not to before winning this, but for public, all this tears. And I'm like, dude, you have been through so much in your life. You telling me a comedian telling jokes, a comedian telling jokes. Now, it might have been harsh, but I've heard comedians tell much harsher jokes. A comedian, you're going to go up on national television and go slap somebody. It's not like you can't say, I didn't assault the guy. If Chris Rock wanted to be a jerk, he could file for assault. He could charge him for assault. How do you get millions in free publicity? Easy two actors, one slap, and a little bit of acting. I don't know if it was, because what came to my mind was they're doing a movie together and this is publicity. That's what came to my mind too. But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you got Tia Boynton say she thinks she agree with Ken. So you know, it don't look like it was staged to me.
So Bishop, so what we should do to get our numbers up is I should say you should walk into my screen. We gotta get to our guests, man. We gotta get to our guests.
We gotta get the show on the road over here. But it would have been nice if we had our psychologist on. That would have been a really good thing. But anyway, we're gonna go right in. We decided that for the next couple of weeks we're gonna talk about entrepreneurs, and we have one on tonight. And we like our guests. We want to have our guests please join us and welcome Suzzy-O. Oh, Suzzy-O, we're glad to have you on.
Just don't say Suzzy-O. Give her full name. Johnson Ort. Thank you very much.
You see, the thing is, I wanted to take a little bit of your thunder over here.
No, Johnson Ort.
How are you guys tonight?
We are good, and you were glad to have you.
You guys sounded like twins. I have twin grandkids, right? And you guys answered together just like for a split second. That's what they do all the time.
We've been doing this show for over a year and a half. I think we're getting to be at the twin kind of mentality. It's crazy.
Well, we're glad to have you. Why don't you share a little bit about yourself, personal ministry, and a little bit, just a little brief, because we're going to answer a whole bunch of questions about you, what you do, and you not telling us, and you trying to convince us after how young you are. You know, we're not even going to go there. We're going to leave that alone because, you know, we want to keep our show going.
Okay. Well, I am one of 6 siblings, right? 6 of us. There's 6 of us. Girl, guy, girl, guy, girl, and guy, in that order. Ooh. Right? And, you know, I'm a PK, like the both of you. You're probably PKs as well. And I am a grandmother. I was telling you guys.
Oh, no, you're trying us now. You're trying me. You
gotta get discerner in here, Bishop. Gotta get discerner in here.
Yeah, grandmother of 3, 2 8-year-olds going on 9, and my voice. Listen, you guys, I almost didn't make it tonight because my voice is kind of. Oh, thank you, Bob.
You're not supposed to be reading the script.
Don't let Elder Bob Thomas on here too, because he knows people. Like, oh, I know people. Don't let him on here.
Right. And so, so one of 6 siblings, married, 22 years. Known the guy.
Congratulations! Oh my goodness!
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. Known him for about 30 years this year, and we have our beautiful Majarel, our daughter, and of course these are her kids. But and they're upstairs. We're trying to keep them from coming down here right now. But so you're saying personal and ministry, and
Well, no, you have given enough. Because we
Okay.
really want to get right into the meat of the show. So no, you are a business professional. That means you started your own business, have your own business up and going. Talk to us a little bit about how you got started.
Well, the way I got started is I was unhealthy, is what that was, because I'm an exercise physiologist by trade. And I do personal fitness training. I do some clinical exercise physiology type thing. So my background is clinical, and it's also practical. And I have a personal training studio that I train my clients from, and I do some online training as well. Lately, I just started getting into teaching coaches how to show up on camera, basically, without too much anxiety. And I'm the one to talk, because I was cursed, really, with anxiety in showing up on camera. So this was something that I was able to move past, and now doing that. Yeah. But I still personal train. I mean, that's my love.
Okay, great. Before we go on, please, everyone, thank you again for joining. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and you tell your friends, family, and your enemies, as we always say, let them join us every Monday at 7:15. But if you have any questions, please write your questions in the comment section, and we will be able to answer them live and on the spot with Miss Suzy. So we appreciate you.
I promise I won't read them.
That's fine. So I got a question for you, because you said you're an exercise you say physiologist? Is that what it is? Oh, so what is that? That's the first time I've heard that term. So what is an exercise physiologist?
Physiology. It's what the body is doing, how the body, the anatomical, physical, biological body, how it functions during exercise. Like, for instance, when you begin to exercise, you start making energy molecules called ATP, which are adenosine triphosphate. Now, the really cool part about ATP is you need energy to make energy. Yeah, just things like those. So when somebody says, well, I have no energy, well, guess what? The way to make energy is to produce energy. So you have to get up and move to make energy.
So you are like the person that explains to all these crazed gym people that what they do, right? The body responds this way. So certain exercises cause you to do certain things. Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. I usually tell my clients when they come on board, it's important to me that you know everything that I know. Because if not, if you have somebody basically having you in a program and just telling you what to do, guess what's going to happen when you're done with the program? You're not going to do anything. So my job is to give you a greater understanding as to what, how, and why, so that you take it for yourself and you continue.
Okay. So back to this question then.
Okay.
What got you into that? What made you say, I know you said you were unhealthy and you wanted, but you said you were this beforehand. So what got you into, you know what, I want to know about how the body works based on certain aspects of what I do. What got you into that?
Well, what actually happened is I was very overweight. Okay. I was very overweight. And I was able to lose the weight. Even when I lived in New York, one thing that was really important to me was And I was not overweight in New York. You can't, I mean, New York, you're walking so much. You can't be too overweight in New York, you know? And when the foreigners come to New York, then the New Yorkers are looking at them like, we know you're not from here. But after I had my daughter, who's 35 now, the baby weight just kind of stuck around. And so after trial and error, it was trial and error, I was able to lose the weight. But I remembered a point in my life where I remember Bishop Wagner asked me this question some years ago. He pulled me up on the stage and he said, my daughters told me you lost a lot of weight. You want to tell us what happened? And I said, I was at a point in my life where I said to God, I need to be consistent in one thing. I was inconsistent up and down about God knows what. And I knew I needed consistency in one thing. I chose exercise, and the rest was history.
Wow.
Tell me now, when you say you chose exercise, do you have a routine, or you do it every day, every other day? What is it like for you?
Well, at the time when I asked for some sort of consistency in my life, I chose exercise because it was easy. It was like, okay, I'll just go walk for 15 minutes. I knew I could do that every day. And that is really the specialty as to what I teach. Hey, trainers are a dime a dozen. Exercise programs are a dime a dozen. Diets are a dime a dozen. But what makes this different is that you get to the point where you understand how habits and practices affect the sustainability of exercise. Yeah, you start something that's like, yeah, I'm bored. Things just start fading. What I teach at Suzzy's Playground is how to use habits and practices. And what I usually say is, as it relates to purpose-driven leadership, because the people I train happen to be coaches and leaders themselves.
Wow.
So as it relates to purpose-driven leadership, we have to have our practices and our habits together, because that affects everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know we're asking a lot of technical questions, and it's supposed to be an entrepreneur show. So we're going to ask you this question: how did you get started?
Okay. So I was in this Jamaican restaurant, right?
Woo-hoo! Let's talk about it.
It's like the only Jamaican restaurant here.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, it's not even here now, but another guy opened the one Jamaican restaurant here.
Oof.
And I'm in Youngstown, Ohio. We call it the Yo.
The Yo, okay. All right.
Well, I was in the restaurant and I was talking about whether I was talking about helping somebody, whether it was a family member, where exercise was concerned. And a guy came walking by. I remember him. He's probably watching. Michael. And he said, "Are you a trainer?" And I always considered myself a trainer. And I answered him, yes. I said, yes. And he said, I need a trainer. He was the first ever that I trained for money.
Wow.
Right. And he said, I need a trainer. Now, I had no gym. I had nowhere to train him, but I knew what to do from, studying. And studying came later, really, but from digging stuff up myself. And so I wanted to find out a little bit about his health history. That's important. Can't train anybody unless you understand where they're coming from. That's why when people say, we don't want to talk about Black history and Black this and Black that, you can't heal unless you get the history. Okay?
Right.
So anyway, I'll leave that alone. That's a whole nother can. And so I said to him, okay, meet me at the park. The park is my oasis. We have a phenomenal, same guy who designed the New York Park, Central Park, designed this park here. Yeah. And so I met him at the park, and I literally walked and talked with him on the days assigned. And listen, I was hooked when his blood pressure started coming down, when he said, my doctor said, and I've lost so-and-so pounds, and my doctor, I was hooked. That was like drugs for me, to watch people's lives change, go from sick to well. And so that was how I started. Yeah.
So you didn't train with weights, you trained with knowledge, is what you're saying.
Trained with knowledge at first. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So what does the Souza Playground looks like?
Playground. We've got some major muscle machines in there. And when I say major muscles, we have some major muscles and we have some minor muscles.
Oh, explain. Elaborate,
Explain.
please.
The larger muscles in the body are major muscles. For instance, chest muscles, got a lot of muscle fiber there. Back muscles, that's a big muscle. Quadriceps in the front of the thigh, quads and hamstrings. So chest, back, and legs. Chest, back, and legs, major muscles. Minor, you've got your deltoids and your anterior deltoids and your bis and tris, biceps and triceps. Those are your minor muscles. But we have machines in there for the major muscles. And then we have a lot of functional equipment, like medicine balls and ropes and big balls and different things like that.
All right. So my experience is new gym opened up here in the mall, and one of the wonderful saint gave me a gym membership for a year, and I was like, whoa. And so I religiously, you give me something for a year, I'm using it. And I was going to the gym before I went to work, and coming back, dropping by the gym, and then I stepped on the scale, and I went from 155 to 165. and the sleeves of the shirt was getting tight. And I says, oops.
Didn't have a trainer.
That is it. No, because what happened is, I run every other day. Mostly every other day I run. So this gym membership was like, great. But I went in there, it came with a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. And so I was doing all the routine, the personal trainer, and the trainer was working on these chests and stuff. As soon as it went to 165 and the sleeves get a little tight, that was it with the personal trainer, and that was it with the gym membership. So now, what is it that I did wrong?
Nothing.
All right. So there are a couple things. All right. First of all, the thing that I make my clients aware of immediately is, like, they'll say, oh, are we going to do nutrition? And I go, what we're doing here is only 20%. I said, and if 80% is nutrition, and I want you to get results, you better believe we're talking nutrition. So nutrition might have been a factor. The other thing is that muscle.
He's weight.
Now, people always say muscle weighs more than fat. It really doesn't. Here's what they mean when they say it. But I'm just dealing with accuracy here. If a pound of muscle is from here to here, right? A pound of fat, same pound, is from here to here. Fat takes up 5 times the space, the volume. That's exercise physiology, right? It takes up 5 times the volume as muscle. So muscle tends to be lean, takes up less space. So a lot of women, they may come and they say, oh, I don't want to bulk up. I just want to be lean. That's when I know that they don't understand what that means. Now, in reference to your shirt being tight, your nutrition did not complement what you were doing. Okay.
Oh.
And also it could be. I'm just saying could be. That could be part of it. So I'm going to give you all of the factors, right? So your nutrition could be part of it. And also, if you are building muscle, there are a lot of us that build muscle and don't shed the fat, right? Eventually, the muscle will eat extra fat now, because for muscle to sustain itself on a daily basis, it needs more calories. That's why we tell women, weight train. You'll be able to eat more. But if what you're eating was more than what you needed for what you wanted to accomplish. That's why you have to have a goal, and you have to have a program, and you have to have it prescribed a certain way so that you accomplish what you're looking to accomplish.
So let me see if I understand it. Are you
Yes.
saying then, while I was getting muscular, I could have not gotten muscular if I was eating a certain diet?
So let's think about the layers. You've got bone, muscle, fat, and skin. If you don't shed the fat, you're just going to bulk that muscle and push on the fat.
But I thought the exercise is what shed the fat.
No. It helps. And this is great. That is a misconception. Exercise is not the end all be all. So let's think about exercise. Exercise, when you think of cardiovascular exercise, you're thinking of the cardiac muscle. That is the muscle in the body that is involuntarily contracted. We voluntarily contract the others. We involuntarily contract this. Okay. So when the heart muscle to get stronger, we must exercise. Only reason we exercise, though, yes, we get strength and all of this other stuff, but the only reason we exercise is for increased oxygen intake. Because with increased oxygen intake, you are well, your cells are well, your immune system's well, everything's well. So we increase the oxygen intake. So when you're exercising and you're doing cardiovascular exercise, it's for that cardiac muscle. If when you perform exercise or you perform any sort of activity and your heart rate's going out of control and your heart's beating like this to get what you're doing done, it's overworking. When you have a strong cardiac muscle from exercise, it's what we call the ejection fraction. Your heart goes like this and sends blood where it's supposed to go, not. You understand what I'm saying? So the lower your heart rate, the more fit you are, right? The lower your heart rate. So when you check your resting heart rate, check to see where it is. Normal is between 72 and 80, right? Below that, when you go to the doctor and the doctor, they usually say, are you an athlete? Yes, I'm an athlete. When they say, oh, your heart rate is 58. My husband, 48. I mean, really. And you know, if it's too low, then that is what you call bradycardia. Too high, those are the two extremes, is tachycardia. But anyway, that's a
So
lot
well,
of.
you still didn't say where all the fat go away. You still didn't say you dissipate fat. What you gotta hold? You gotta answer my question before it's over.
How does the fat go away? Now, I want
Don't
you to
eat
tell
so
your
much.
audience, I have a program for that. Okay, I have a program for that. But the way the fat goes away is you modify your food plan accordingly.
Don't eat. Don't get. And, but also, and this is why I have a ton of questions for you. See, this is really bad because I was an athlete. I am no longer. My biggest muscle now is my stomach, so I'm in big trouble. So, so I got a ton of questions. But
Okay.
I also thought that, right, that fat is there to help energize the body, right? That's why sugars is important not to have a lot of sugar, because if you don't use your body, if you don't work out well, the sugars then create more fat. That's what I was told. I don't know if I'm right.
Oh,
That's what I was
you're
told.
absolutely correct.
Right. So then what you do is the other way to reduce the fat in your body is by, like you said, change your eating habits, but also add some things that eat away at sugars, like grapefruit or citric fruits or vinegars, because they eat at sugar and they take it away. Is
Or
that
cayenne or
okay?
other peppers. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But that is not like the solution that is easiest to do. Like, people don't like vinegar and people don't like whatever. The thing about us, especially in the US, we are an instant gratification driven society.
Amen.
Okay?
You
We
are right.
want everything now. If the phone is not moving fast enough, throw it out the window and get a new one.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which is why we have road rage. All right. So I want you to slow down a little bit. And as we've been talking about on my Facebook Live, feel the discomfort and deal with it accordingly. Don't try to, oh God, let's end this discomfort. Let's just do this, drink this, take this pill, da 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 da. We have a lifetime to get done what we need to do. Remember, the race isn't given to the swift nor the strong, but the one
That
who
endures.
endures. Guess what? Endurance is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. So if I make my clients aware of that up front, then you know life is hard sometimes up front. So that you know that it's going to take little by little by little. So that's why I said micro habits and practices. Micro. We have certain habits that we execute on a daily basis. For instance, we brush our teeth. It's non-negotiable. We don't say, oh, it's snowing today. Forget the teeth brushing. We're not doing that. It's something that we have now been automatized to. And therefore, guess what? It's a habit. And the definition of a habit is something your body does better than your mind. So if we can pull the habits in the different areas, you won't even notice that will be gone. That'll be gone.
Oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this a lot. So, but before we go on to the next, we just want to take a few minutes to recognize our producers. And there they are. You know, we want the world to know that it's just not just Overseer Rupert and I. We have folks helping us on the in the background, and we thank God for them. Boynton, Walsh, Minot, and Gore. Again, thank you so much, producers. Yes, I want to say so. You are saying that in an individual like myself who is an athlete, who
Yes.
runs a lot, whose
I love it. You better
whose
go.
whose heart rate, whose heart rate is 52.
Ooh.
I got the watch here to show it now. I got the watch to show it.
I love it. I love it.
You see- Oh yeah, most of the time, resting heart rate is 60. Most of the time. So that's because I jog a lot. That's just, but the challenge that I have been noticing is I thought that with the jogging that any extra fat would just go away. So now I am now being cleared, and the overseer has made it clear. All I need to do is add a little vinegar, a little bit more pepper, a little bit more pepper, and some fat eaters, and then I'll be gone. My goodness.
More than that to do. But Sister Susie, this will answer a lot of people's questions, because they think, I run for a mile and they said that I burned only 85 calories. How would that happen? It's because it doesn't burn. It's not meant to burn calories. It's meant to help you with your breathing, your respiratory. And I got a quick story. So, because you said about the big heart. So I got a quick story. The funny, so this probably was the worst doctor in the world. When I was 22 years old, and I was a college athlete, I was 22 years old. I was going because I had high cholesterol, and I found out recently that cholesterol is genetic, so it's something I just have to live with and not have to worry about my kids and all that stuff. But I went to the office. He did all his little things, and he comes back. He goes, Rupert, you are either going to die or you're an athlete. And I said, really? I said, well, so I hope that's good. He goes, yeah, because your heart's larger than normal. I said, okay, thank you. It's funny because you can work, and people don't know, you can work your heart to be bigger, like you said, because it works harder, pumps out harder. So athletes tend to have a little bit of larger hearts. Now the problem comes in is when your heart does not grow, if I'm correct on this, and you become an athlete, because now your heart is working with overtime. I think that was the Ralph Lewis issue, where he died on court. He's a basketball player, died on court, I think it was, because of his heart wasn't working. He passed out. He had to quit basketball and he ended up dying later on. But that's kind of where you're going with this, right? You can do certain things. You've got to just watch every part of your body. Sometimes we don't think about this, but you have to be careful what the doctor says about every part of you, whether it be your blood pressure, your sugar, your intake. That's kind of what you're giving us right now.
Absolutely. We just need to pay attention. Unfortunately, we are in a world where we're distracted. There's so much coming at us at the same time, and we're distracted, and we don't really take the time to examine, what our bodies need, because we're too busy, and so we look for conveniences, and when we look for conveniences and shortcuts, and shortcuts are not bad, because how long do you run, Bishop Paul?
I run about 3.8 miles.
Okay.
I usually this is consistent. I've been doing this for about 10 years.
Okay. So, and how long does it take you?
So now it used to take me 32 minutes to do it. Now the last week or so, I notice I'm up to about 48 minutes. So it's taking me longer.
3.8 miles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not really bad. I mean, how old are you now?
63.
94, 63. I think he is 90.
I love that you're doing that. I think it's just phenomenal. Here's what I'd like to say though. With regards to and I know you've been doing this, so your joints are kind of, they acclimate to what you've done for years. What I'm here to say, and this is what I specialize in is you don't have to run that long.
Wow.
You don't have to run that long, and you can get twice the benefit using other methods.
Ooh.
Like
Absolutely.
Like
Let me
walking?
give you an example. Marathon runners, marathon winners. Do you know how they train? They don't train doing steady state, long endurance stuff per se, but they can endure, right? If they need to. What they do for training is are what we call intervals, right? Intervals, right? So you have your high intensity interval training, right? And let me tell you what this looks like. You go out, you set your clock for 21 minutes. You set it for 21 minutes. And one of the reasons I'm giving you this option is because as we get older, hey, like it or not, as we get older, we got to make adjustments. You have to make adjustments. So you go out, you set your clock for 21 minutes. You start walking for 3 minutes. At the end of the 3rd minute, take off like a bear and a lion is chasing you for 30 seconds. If you are able to go longer than 30 seconds, you are not at your full capacity, right? That's how I want you to push the envelope. If not, if you don't want to run that fast, but remember, it's only 30 seconds. After that 30 seconds, you walk for 3 minutes. You're out of breath. But when I tell you that your distance would be better, so I would not suggest that you do your distance every day. I say do your intervals and do your distance on the weekend.
Okay.
He's a
We
track
want you to
coach.
save your joints.
Okay, I'll try that, and I'll definitely tell you what the results are.
Oh,
That's a
you're
track coach.
gonna love it so much.
Oh.
It's so elated. I mean, you're just on top of the world.
Yeah, and you said that you do. I appreciate that. And you say you also do online training.
I do.
Oh, so I'd like to sign up Overseer Rupert. So after that, and pay for it as well.
Okay, he's gonna pay for it.
Oh my God. That's nice. I like that graphic. It's nice.
If he's gonna pay for it, I'm there.
All right, to our guests, I mean, we're not getting any question, but this is healthy. This is great stuff. I'm surprised no one is asking questions, but this is how you can get in touch with Suzanne or Mrs. Johnson Ort. All right, please, at the Fitness Playground where losers have fun.
But listen, this is what I told Albert. I said, Albert, but honestly, I give my clients a cup 1 year with a sticker on it where I scratched out the losers and I put where trainers have fun, because that's closer to the truth.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
So you gave great information on because that's just track. I ran track and that was it.
We got a good question here. I love this.
I see it in there. So Tiffany's Brown, who is a Brown, by the way, and who is related to that Brown, she's asking, are the classes individual or group sessions?
The sessions are individual. When and if you have someone else that you want to train with, like you want to do it together, on my platform, you are able to train together on my platform. So, I mean, I'm able to have up to 42 people online, but when you want to, but mostly it's individual. It's individual.
What about if you like husband and wife, like, so we want to train together?
Exactly. That's exactly why. And I usually encourage that because they motivate each other. You don't have to, you don't have to wonder if he's going to come home and bring pizza. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
still
you're
might
both,
do that.
because you're both on the same page.
Yeah. So okay. So like my wife is listening, so I think I'm gonna have to sign up us and do something. She always want. I am not a. I would say I'm not a big gym person. I've played sports all my life. I still play basketball now. I don't like the gym. I'm not a big gym person, but this sounds like there's more than just. There's only 20%, and the other 80% is nutrition, health, and both
Absolutely.
me and my wife, we both have to eat healthier. She has to eat healthier for her immune system. I have to eat healthier because I eat horrible. So I just need to eat better. So Michelle Robinson, Michelle has been coming all the way.
Yay,
You know, Bishop, she's been
Hey,
coming all the way.
Michelle's mom and my mom were best friends.
So you know the Mannings then.
They're family.
Oh my goodness. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Michelle. Oh, that's how. So Michael and Jonathan was supposed to be on the show. Jonathan was supposed to be here with us.
Who? Yeah.
Jonathan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he got caught up on a plane.
Brother.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Michelle's asking, how do you get your mind going to start the health journey?
You know what? That is such a wonderful question.
Yeah.
And for me, my fascination with this journey is about that. How to get that going. You are not going to feel like it. Like, for instance, you have your resolutioners at the top of the year, right? And I'm excited. I'm going to be on a diet.
We're talking about this.
And before you know it, we're fizzling, right?
Yep.
Why? Because these programs require willpower. Willpower, let me explain that. Willpower is a part of the brain that has been given to us to make decisions in a day. We have a certain allotment to make decisions in a day. It's for decision making. However, here we are in this grand society of ours where we have decisions to make about whose story am I going to look at on Facebook? Okay, you got to make a decision about that. Whose email am I going to open? Got to make a decision. It's like, what platform am I going on? Am I StreamYard? Am I Hulu? Am I decision? Not to mention, I didn't even mention work and school and family as yet. And by the time, so when you're depending on willpower, it's like walking out of the house with a partially charged phone. It's going to die. Okay, period. And if it's going to die, then you cannot depend on willpower. For the plan or the program that I have designed, it's where you are not depending on willpower at all. Here's what we depend on. We depend on whatever is going to support a decision. What's going to support the decision? For instance, you say, okay, Pastor Paul says, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to the gym. Okay. But then the gym clothes is at the bottom of the laundry basket. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. You have to do things that's going to help to support that. Here's another thing. We say, okay, I'm going to eat clean. I promise I'm going to just do this right. But you're on Facebook scrolling till midnight and didn't get enough sleep. The surest way for cravings to amplify themselves is no sleep.
Yeah. I want to say, just before we take this question here, I want to say again, Albert, please make sure that we get a shirt out to Suzzy-O as soon as possible. But we also want to let our audience know that we have merchandise that are available that can be purchased. And here's just a quick show of what we have available. These are the shirts and the
Hoodies.
the hoodies and so forth. We also have cups and mugs and all those stuff. And all you got to do is use Zelle. All you have to do is use Zelle, and or place your orders, and within a couple of days you will have it right to you in the mail.
Amen.
Yeah. So let's take this question that we have from Tiffany's.
So Tiffany's is come back and said, and will a diet plan be included, or is that separate?
It has to be. It is included on my part. If a client says, no, I've got my plan together. I just want to exercise. I have clients who come in, oh, I had a knee replacement. I just want to, make sure I'm moving that knee or whatever. Or I have a client, she's still a client, came on in when COVID started. I know that's one of your questions. Excuse me, but she says, and she is in France. I mean, yeah, they're everywhere. And so she says to me, oh, Suzanne, I always quit programs. I never stick with them. And, I don't need a diet. But she has come on. Hang on. Throat.
No problem.
And she has been with me for 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
It's included.
Okay. So, and you brought something up. I wanted to ask this. I wanted to ask two questions. One was for me. One was for the older generation. A lot of, like you said, knee replacements, hip replacements. We have a couple of older folks in my assembly who have issues just moving, getting their bodies moving again, fluidly moving. Is this something that you can help them with just by knowing their body, what they can do to help them move better, move more fluently?
Listen, I teach sit and be fit classes. Everybody can get a world-class workout sitting in a chair.
Wow. Okay.
It's the most phenomenal thing. I am probably one of the only trainers, and trust me, these trainers are amazing, that when people are injured, we are working. We know how to work right around the injury and get a full body workout. I think I'm one of the only trainers in town that people come in after they've been injured because they know you can get worked without aggravating. Yeah, there are ways to do that.
Okay. And then number two is for me. So I am 53 years old. I used to be able to jump out of the gym. I have witnesses that are probably watching on here that saw me dunk the ball like I was 6'8" and I'm 6'2". I play basketball now. I barely get 3 inches off the ground. So I'm kind of like, what is going on here? But I know it has to do with the energy in my legs. If there's other people out there like me who say, you know what, I get up in the morning, my legs are tired. The rest of my body's fine, but my legs are tired. Is there something that we can do to reactivate the legs and get them back into so I can jump at least 7 inches off the ground rather than 3, right? Is there a way that I can get my legs motivated so they're not so achy when we walk around?
What are you doing now for exercise?
Nothing.
I play basketball.
I could answer that for you. And it's not 3 inches, it's half an inch.
I got up to 3. I play basketball twice a week when I can. And it's at about 2 hours a clip. So I play basketball on Wednesday nights for 2 hours. I play basketball Sunday, Saturday mornings for 2 hours. That's what I do.
Here's something you can do at home, right? You could do what we call the couch squat or the chair squat, right? Where you are standing with your knees, the back of your knees to the chair, or maybe stepping away from it, maybe about 4 inches away, and slide your arms out front just so that you can counterbalance and go for a tap with your glutes on the chair and get back up. There's some things you need to watch with any squats. We used to see injuries in the doctor's office of these young athletes. And I would say to them, let me see your squat. And they are terrible. And I'm going, how do you have a coach and you don't know how to squat? Well, when you squat, you need to have your heels, most of the weight in your heels. Most people squat and they put their hips forward. What I used to tell my seniors is you just peed on yourself. So if you're thinking of, you know, if you're in a bathroom where it's a hole, you know, those ones in the park, you know, and you're trying to squat over it because you don't want to sit on it.
Right.
You literally have to roll the most of your body weight into your heels and stick your tailbone out, right? If you put your knees beyond your shoelace, beyond your toes, you're going to pee on yourself. The key is keep your knees behind your shoelace when you do that squat. But that is a way to start to strengthen the legs. Your legs just need strength.
Right.
And so you need to start strengthening the legs. Then you can start adding a little bit of weight. You know, you might want to get 2 milk jugs, hold them together if you don't have weights. Fill them up with water, of course. And go ahead and hold them right by your chin. And one of the reasons I prefer that rather than holding them down is because it's going to force your chest to be up, because you don't want to squat with a rounded back either.
Right, right. I heard that, right.
Force the chest to be up as you hold it, right? And stick the tailbone out. So chest up, tailbone up, okay? And that is how you squat. Keep your knees behind your shoelace. You're good to go.
How many of those should I do?
I'll check with him in 3 months and see.
I will do this because I told people I'm going to dunk again, so I don't care. I'm going to dunk again. So how many of these should I do? How many reps? So like 10.
Good question. Start with 10 and do 3 sets. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Start with 10.
Well, this has been a tremendous experience. Oh my goodness. We
went way off the subject.
Of course. We were supposed to talk about making doing business and entrepreneur and all that stuff. And look at the benefit that we have received. And overseer, did you see that comment from Bull?
From Lady Bull? Yes.
From Lady Bull?
Yes. Okay, first Lady Bull. Yeah. Lady Bull is a wonderful friend of mine, and she's just laughing at some of my comments because she's seen me. I used to tell people, you know what? I am in shape. Round is a shape, and I know some people say about shape. Round is some people. But I am much better now, Sister Susie. Much better now. But I was at one time a good 275, and that was a day. I'm at 245 now, so I'm much better. Yes. But yeah, I was.
Awesome.
I was up there.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. We really appreciate the conversation. It was very, very, very good.
Can we put up her information one more time, please?
Yes, please. Let's do that again.
Because we want people to reach out.
Yeah, if they want to inbox me on Facebook as well, they're free to do that.
Great. And also, you said you also have a show, right? You have a Facebook show.
Facebook Live on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. It's so much fun. Every Wednesday at 4.
So don't miss it. Join Miss Susie Wednesdays, 4 o'clock on Facebook, on Susie's Fitness Playground.
We talk about mindset.
And that's needed. Beautiful. That's great. And then again, you can reach out to her on her Facebook page, or you can call her. Here's the email addresses. Everybody, there's in the church, we don't talk much about health. I would love to say that it's important. God wants us to be fit, not just mentally and spiritually, but also physically. We should not die or be stressed before it's time. There are ways to lower your blood pressure just by doing fitness and getting the mental things right. Sister Suzzy can help you. Minister Suzzy can help you with these things. So please, please reach out to her. If you need help, if you have these issues, reach out to her. She'll be glad to help you. I'm sure that she is going to be a great resource in the kingdom of God. And we thank you so much for all that you do for the kingdom, because it's important. And I think that Bishop Brown, I think that we may have to join and make trainers out of some of our diocesan. We're going to have to get on that training program, because he can't train everybody. But if we have a couple trainers in the diocese, we can then part it to some other of our
That sounds like a good idea. Yes. Again, we also want to say we thank you so much for being here with us. But next week, Overseer Rupert and I will be hosting a show on current events. We're going to talk about current events on
like
next Monday. And you don't want to miss that, because you're going to hear my opinions. We also want to say on this coming Sunday at 6 p.m., Elder Mark Brodus and Elder Peter Davis, they have the teachings, the Sunday evening teachings at 6 p.m. And yours truly is going to be teaching. So we want you to join the Transformation Men's Sunday evening teaching as well. So we have quite a good thing set up for the rest of the week, and we're looking forward for your participation. And again, to Suzzy-O, oh my goodness, we are glad to have you. We got to get you back. We have to get you back. All right?
I would love that.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get to what we were supposed to talk about, so we're gonna have to get you back. So it was great, but it was great. We thank you, fans and friends of our show. We thank you so much for watching the Bad Men for Christ, or the Bad Man Show featuring the Bad Men for Christ. We thank Minister Suzzy for joining us on today, being part of this, and she's a servant of the kingdom. So let's support her in every way we can. We thank our producers for doing what they do, but most of all, we thank you. And like we say, God loves you. God loves you, and we believe it, and we know it, and we can't wait to see you next week at the same place. Bishop, you want to throw us out? Kick us out?
And with that, we want to say thank you again. And Mrs. O, the Lord is going to bless you. God bless you. And with that, everyone, we say see you again next Monday on the Bad Man Show. God bless you.
So sing hallelujah, revive us again. So sing hallelujah, revive us again.